there is a disconnect and a difference between what the scientists are telling us and how this is understood by policymakers. And at present, especially in the light of the 1.5 degrees report, which was published in October, and which very clearly illustrates the seriousness of the situation with very severe impacts expected as early as from the 2030s, which is only 12 years from now. It's quite extraordinary that there is not more of policy action in evidence so far. So I think one of the big challenges is going to be to bridge this divide between science and policy. Now, in terms of how observers can support this process, at a general level, it's going to be very important to contribute in the form of awareness raising and supporting collaborative, concerted action at all levels. To give you an example, this is one area where we have done some work, is in the field of transport. That is a field I'm working in. In light of this, one of the things which we have done, we've just completed a technical cooperation project with a particular focus on climate change impacts and adaptation for coastal transport infrastructure in small island developing states. This project focused on ports and airports in 2 Caribbean islands, and we carried out a vulnerability assessment. In addition, on the basis of this, we developed a methodology for the assessment of impacts and adaptation. To give you another example, we have been engaged in the development or assisting in the development of a climate change and law toolkit. This was initiated by the UNFCCC Secretariat in collaboration with UNEP, UN Environment, and the Commonwealth Secretariat, which is intended to assist countries in providing and developing legislation to implement the Paris Agreement. For one thing, I think it's very important, we have to bear in mind climate change is a coin with 2 sides. So that is the mitigation side, but there's also adaptation. Adaptation is very important at all time scales. So irrespective of what happens with the mitigation negotiations or with the negotiations geared at reducing CO2 emissions, it's going to be very important to increase preparedness and to contribute to the better understanding of the impacts to be able to take effective adaptation action. So one thing would be to review the NDCs in the light of the 1.5 degrees report, both with respect to mitigation but also adaptation. I think that is very important. Monitoring is going to be very important in this context, so a better understanding of the impacts and to monitor over time. And more generally, I think to start acting. In other words, there is no time to lose, so to get very serious about this matter. And to start maybe also trusting the scientists more, which after all have been tasked to inform the debate.